people aren't really happy with their organized real estate right now here for many reasons. We've got like the mandatory healthcare. We've got all kinds of decisions that our regulatory boards are putting into place for us. And I really want to bring some awareness into what it's like in other parts of the world for real estate agents. And we should be really grateful, although we don't like the decisions that they're making, it could be a lot worse, because talking to the agents in Europe, they have to, there's no single board and access to MLS. Like there's no MLS system. So they have to buy really, really expensive subscriptions to multiple platforms to get access to listings for their clients. And I feel like if we put that into perspective, like I feel like some of them belong to have 10 subscriptions plus, and that's ridiculous. And obviously EXP's coming in like the absolute rock stars they are, and Glenn's like, we're gonna solve this problem for you and we're gonna build our own system, which is fantastic. And obviously what EXP does is they just go in and solve problems and make things easier for their agents, which thank God for that. We should really keep in mind that we have a pretty good deal here.
This is everything they never told you about real estate, helping you scale your business, implement AI, and capitalize on the latest tech and lead gen strategies. And now here's your hosts, the AI queen of real estate, Carrie Soave, and the queen of Canadian real estate, Jennifer Jones.
Again, no. Are you back in Canada yet?
Yeah, I crossed the border about half an hour ago. So yeah, I was in Michigan visiting GoGo. Obviously, everyone knows who GoGo is as well. And yeah, just a great time, great experience. Lots of mind melting together. So yeah, super grateful.
Yeah, and we are live on my Facebook. Actually, my personal profile, and I didn't even put it on my business page. So I thought everybody could watch what's going on, because we're going to talk about all of the traveling that we've been doing and all of the traveling that we have coming up. And there are so many events, and it's such a huge part of both of our professional lives that let's get into it. We just got back. Well, not just got back, but we got back from Portugal. So me and Jennifer went to Lisbon for EXPCON International. And let's talk a little bit about that. And I love that trip. That was amazing. JJ, what did you think?
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. The first day we were there, we got to tour around, which was so cool. And the second day, I was part of their sort of international top agent mastermind. So top individuals, top teams from all over, predominantly Europe, but some even from North America. And that was like just an incredible experience. It's neat to learn about all the other ways that real estate is done in other parts of the world, and actually how good we have it, like with organized boards, having this incredible company that we're a part of. We just have an easier time really promoting properties and making sure that, properties have enough exposure to market in order to get the best possible price for sellers, right? Yes. So yeah, that was absolutely amazing. And you were on stage speaking on the tech panel. And I have to say, by far, you are the most, informed and knowledgeable person internationally. And I mean, I guess that's why they've given you that role, right? Of global tech consultant for EXP. Yeah, it was just amazing. Like, I just think the world is changing so fast, and it was amazing to see how excited all these European agents were getting over more tech and understanding artificial intelligence, which they hadn't had a whole lot of exposure, I feel like, prior to us going over. Did you get that same feeling?
Yeah, everybody was really excited about it. I feel like overall, the agents, I don't know about the other industries, but the agents in Europe are where we were at in Canada about a year ago now. Really excited about AI, really excited about learning about how it can affect their business and improve their business. You said something really interesting, and because we're live on my Facebook, I want to address it because we're going to have such a local, like an Ontario listening on this episode. So you said organized boards, okay? And we're in Ontario, and obviously people aren't really happy with their organized real estate right now here for many reasons. We've got like the mandatory health care. We've got all kinds of decisions that our regulatory boards are putting into place for us. And I really want to bring some awareness into what it's like in other parts of the world for real estate agents. And we should be really grateful, although we don't like the decisions that they're making, it could be a lot worse, because talking to the agents in Europe, they have to, there's no single board and access to MLS. Like there's no MLS system. So they have to buy really, really expensive subscriptions to multiple platforms to get access to listings for their clients. And I feel like if we put that into perspective, like I feel like some of them belong to have 10 subscriptions plus, and that's ridiculous. And obviously EXP's coming in like the absolute rock stars they are, and Glenn's like, we're going to solve this problem for you and we're going to build our own system, which is fantastic. And obviously what EXP does is they just go in and solve problems and make things easier for their agents, which thank God for that. But we should really keep in mind that we have a pretty good deal here, you know, as unhappy
We do.
as we sometimes, I feel like we have it pretty good. Don't you agree?
Yeah. And I think it was interesting too. So obviously EXP rolled out Home Hunters International. We'll clarify and put that into the chat after, just to make sure we've got it right. But essentially working to solve that problem for the rest of the world, where they don't have organized boards and actually have a home search site that you could bring your buyers to and list your properties on, that would give a common place to go for data, which I thought was so cool. The other really interesting thing was, I think in some ways they may be better marketers than us. Like there was certainly a lot of tips that we could take away from a lot of even being in South Africa in February, being in Lisbon for EXP International. I feel like they've had to become master marketers and really great salespeople as a result of not having access to these boards either. So yeah, I think it's just going to be a game changer, bringing in, this Home Hunters International website and having that access to tech and AI, which is moving so fast. And even for you, how are you staying on top of all the AI and tech that is rolling out every single day?
Well, I'm lucky, Jennifer, because this is my full-time job as a consultant and a coach for AI. And I'm lucky because this is literally what I do for a living now. So I have the time. I'm able to time. And, agents are like, oh my God, it's so much. How do I stay on top of it? Well, that's not your job. It's my job. So let me do my job. And when you need help, come to me. And you do what your job is, which is sell homes. And I'll try to support you as best I can by, giving you these tools and showing you how to use them to make your business better.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. Yeah, and I think there was just such an excitement about AI and the tech when we were over there, and so many people signing up for more information on your courses and all of that. And I think you have some of the brokers and international agents now that all agreed to come out to the AI conference that you have put together for September. So do you want to speak to that about who will be attending? Because I think that's going to be super cool.
Yeah, so for sure, Dennis, who is the leader for Italy. So he's Italy's leader for EXP. He's taken my program, loves it. I think he called me his muse. He's so funny. And he's flying out to speak at the conference because when you get through my program, you know everything up until the moment that you need to know about AI for the real estate industry, for your business. So on any given day, you will have the most knowledge and you can speak to AI at a high level. I'm hoping to get some other reps from countries out like Dubai. Dubai is one of them. And I'm talking to some agents in Dubai right now about creating tools and AI to connect to their data, which is super cool to be involved in something like that all over Europe. You got to remember, so EXPCON International was a very small affair. It was the inaugurals. It was the very first EXPCON International, took place in Europe, in Lisbon. But we got to remember, when a country opens up with EXP, isn't it usually a team or a brokerage that opens it up? So the representatives are the market leaders in their market. So that is who was in attendance, and it was so valuable for anybody who showed up and participated, because you have the market leaders for each country present, all sharing so much valuable information. And that's what made this event really special, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And it's interesting. Like, I think as we go forward in the future now, it's just going to move so quickly. And I feel like things are moving so quickly. Do you feel that too? Like it's like,
yeah.
And I know, just speaking to a lot of agents, they feel that anxiety of trying to stay on top of it. So I love that you address that with, you go sell houses, do what you need to do, and let me do my job and figure out what to implement and what can you not spend, not waste your time on, right? So I think that's so brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited for the conference. So for everybody who's interested, Jennifer will be there. She will be doing a keynote on AI to scale and grow your team, and using it as a team, because she has an extremely large team here in Ontario. How many agents are you at right now, Jennifer?
We're about 55 right now on the team.
Yeah. So, and she's been implementing it for, oh God, I feel like since October. So
yeah,
she knows what's up. And I make sure she always knows what's going on. And she can speak at a high level to anybody who has a team. So she'll be speaking at the conference. We have so many amazing speakers. Like I said,
so many
people are flying in from Europe. We have Neil Patel is coming to do the keynote, and it's not going to be your traditional keynote. It's going to be a fireside chat, because Neil Patel is the leader in his industry for marketing SEO globally and across every industry. So I really want to just sit down with him and pick his brain from a realtor's point of view, and get as much knowledge out of him, see what I can pull out of him. And we have an hour to do that, which is really cool. Yeah. That's why this conference is 2 days. Well, it's like a day and a half. We have Glenn Sanford coming in, who is our founder of EXP, because he founded the most tech-forward real estate brokerage in the world. So, of course, he's going to be there. How can we not have him there? We have Gogo Bethke's coming up. She's going to talk to AI and automation. Dono is coming in from Montreal. Everybody knows her. She is speaking on AI and social media. We have panels with brokerage owners from this isn't an EXP event. This is a realtor event, okay? And not even just a realtor event. Like anybody can attend this conference and get something out of it. This is how realtors are using AI. However, all of these tools can be applied to any business. They are not real estate specific, okay? So you got to remember that we have owners from Remaxes and independent brokerages and Royal LePage, and we've got boards coming in. Ori is going to be there. Just so much. I think we have Alan Cross is coming. He's a major radio personality. He's going to be monitoring some stuff. I have Anthony Fury. If you know who he is, he's probably going to be Toronto's next mayor. A huge AI advocate. We have so many speakers: Richard Silver, Mark Verzel, Andrew Perry. Like the list literally goes on and on. Check out the website. It's realestateinfluencers.com. There's a lot more information, but what is going to make this conference different is you're not just going to get like pep talks from people. It's not just going to be keynotes and conversations. They're going to be sharing knowledge. We are going to have workshops where you're going to be implementing AI in real time. Okay. You're going to be,
which I love,
your AI, which is important so that you can start using it immediately. And we're also doing some main stage demo of the freshest and best AI products for your business. And I think that's super cool. We're not doing like a marketplace with booths. We're doing an innovation hub with demos, and it's going to be a
cool.
one of a kind experience. So if you don't have your tickets, make sure you do. Make sure you get them. And that's only like one of the conferences. Like I feel like we have such a busy second half of the year. Like I know I'm flying out to Chicago on Tuesday. I'm just going out for the day. I'm going to speak with some luxury agents in Chicago, consult with them. And then I leave for Italy in 2 weeks. And it's really cool because I'm speaking at the Parliament in Rome. So what do you call them? I would call them the European representatives for Google and Meta are going to be present, which is super cool. Oh. And yeah, it's going to be, I hope they understand me. I'm not going to do it in Italian, but yeah.
They'll have a translator, I'm sure.
Right? So it's going to be such an experience. What do you have coming up, Jennifer? I know you just closed your house, so you are moving, you have a lot going on.
Always. Yeah, so I go to Vancouver in a week and a bit to build, and that's going to be amazing. I'm on stage there. And then 2 weeks later to Dallas, Texas, which is going to be so amazing. Yeah, and then we move, and we're moving from 7,000 square feet into a 900 square foot condo with a 70-pound poodle. So it's going to be fascinating. We're going to attempt to stay married through this experience while we kind of get our feet and just figure out what it is that we really want. We obviously have a place in Florida, but just figuring out what it is we want and just giving us a breather. But then we have EXPCON, right? And I think you have the cruise too. I don't think we're going to go to that just because we have too much going on, but I know you and Gogo are going to be on the cruise ship for Build.
Yeah, so we're speaking on at a Build event, which is a cruise to the Bahamas, leaving from Orlando. Woo! That's going to be wild. That's the beginning of August. I have some fun friends from different brokerages in Toronto coming to that I don't get to spend a lot of time with. So it's going to be so nice to spend some real time with them and network as well. Because I don't know about you, but I feel like I don't travel unless it's for work anymore, because I have such a great time traveling for work and have just such an amazing experience that I don't see any point traveling not for work. Maybe I'm just a weirdo, but yeah.
And it's so true, right? When you're because we've been able to travel all over the place as a result of the company. And I feel like, yeah, these opportunities that we have, like, really, how much more can you travel? Like, you have your 2 beautiful or 3 beautiful puppies at home and your cat, right?
I miss them so much when I'm gone.
I know. And that's a challenge for me too, is just how many times am I, putting our fur child into care. So we just, we need, Carrie, you know what I realized when we were in Lisbon and we were flying in the helicopter? I was like, this is the way we should be traveling. I said to Keith, look, I found I can get my helicopter's license and we can buy a helicopter. And he's like, it doesn't have a great range. Like, you're not going to be able to fly all the way down to Florida without refueling. I'm like, that's okay. I feel like there's more safety to a helicopter, just like off topic, right? Than a plane. I feel like you can negotiate your way down easier than a plane where you have to find somewhere to land. Anyway, different conversation. But yeah, then we could take the dogs, right?
Oh my
New plan.
God. Let's do
Right?
it. Okay, so how much is a helicopter? Yeah. If anybody brokers helicopters out there, you need to get in touch with us, because another thing is, I've discovered, Jen, I no longer want to drive from Niagara into Toronto. I absolutely hate it. And I told one of my partners whose company is in Toronto, I told him, I asked him before I signed the partnership, do you have a helipad on the roof of your building in Toronto? And if there's room for one, you're putting one in, because I'm going to be traveling by helicopter from now on. It is a nightmare trying to get in from Niagara Falls to Toronto. Yeah. It's like Gardner shut down and like highways are backed up. And it's just not enjoyable. Do you know what?
No.
So speaking of traveling, so my event's coming up in September. Obviously you're going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. If you're not there, like, what are you even doing with your life?
Be there,
October, we're in Miami for EXPCON. November, I've been talking to a couple of people about 2 different trips, and you're going to laugh your ass off. So one is the largest real estate conference in the Middle East, happening in Saudi Arabia.
Amazing.
And the other one is Iceland.
Well, Iceland, I think Ricardo, your husband, that's like his number one that was on his bucket list, right? So it sounds like Iceland is a definite. Now, where in the Middle East are they having the conference?
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. It'd be interesting, right? That'd be an interesting place to go.
Yeah. But
now, what's the
support?
What's the situation?
With what?
How does it work over there? Like, do they have an official board and people are licensed? And like, do you know how it works in Saudi Arabia? Is EXP in Saudi?
I don't know. But Dubai will be there. So it's actually Dubai who is orchestrating my keynote there and my talk there. So they're all interconnected.
Yeah, intertwined.
And
okay.
Yeah. So I'm not specifically sure about EXP, but I think
that'll be so exciting.
I think I should do both.
Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and we were talking about, I was going to say, we were talking too about like the agent attraction opportunity within EXP, right? So obviously we are EXP, and I mean, you have people partnering with you because they're able to get like that amazing knowledge and information about AI and tech, which is so cool, right?
Yeah.
So I guess you're planning like global growth with that as well, based on the fact that, right? It's like you're everywhere, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why not? Right.
Yes.
And that's the great thing about EXP is I don't need to know much about their business in those countries, because there will be contact and point people there to handle everybody with care, right? So that's Do you remember them talking about that in Lisbon? I thought that was so interesting and such a good idea, because it just opens up possibilities for everybody. And isn't it great
Absolutely.
to just be like, call up a partner in Colombia or wherever, you know what I mean? And be like, hey, I'm coming to visit. Let's do some business. I just
Yeah, exactly. But it has, that is the coolest thing, right? And even just before Christmas, we had a guy reach out from the UK and said, hey, my partner and I are going to be in town visiting some people. I see you're working in the area as an EXP agent. Can we get together and have dinner? I'm like, absolutely. So to be able to go, and I think that's a difference. Like, I never had in the previous brokerage a Keller agent reach out, come in from another part of the world and say, hey, let's get together. But this is almost like so common, even agents coming up from the US that reach out saying, hey, I'm here. And even for me, like, I think the really neat thing is that there are no boundaries on orgs, like in terms of who you join with EXP, unless you choose for that to be the case. Because the truth is, are you and I the same org? No. Right? I was at GoGo's yesterday. Is GoGo part of my org? No. Right? There's so many opportunities we've had, and so many of our close friends within the brokerage are not our organization. We don't see those as boundaries. We see those as like they're the best people, right? We just want to be around the best people. We don't care about the organization. And it was interesting this morning. GoGo had me sit in on her like Friday call, and they brought on Leo Perea, so our CEO for EXP Realty, and he was talking about the attraction side. And I just thought, he's so smart. Like, if you look at what he's accomplished, he is so incredibly smart. And our leadership team is the only leadership team in real estate where they're all licensed. They're still actually carrying licenses and have sold real estate, right? And so, people were asking questions this morning, and the one thing that stood out to me, which stands out over and over and over again, was essentially people join people. And that's anyone joining into any brokerage. People join people. They don't join. And he gave a comparison of comparing models, just like being a listing agent in an appointment and then having the seller go, well, this agent said this price at this percentage, and this one said, $950 at 4%, and this one said $875 at 3.5%, right? And they just do the math and make a decision. And he said, you have to stay away from that, because people join people. And it's just so, that really is the energy of the company, which I think is so cool. And you get that feeling like, while we're traveling and going to these events and meeting people, that's the experience, right? That we feel with everybody. It's just, we're so blessed.
I know, it's so amazing. And, I love being a part of what's going on with EXP on the back end as their AI consultant. So I've obviously been working strictly in marketing right now, and I'm starting to see the tools that I'm building being used, and I won't tell you where, but it's super cool to say, oh my God, I built that. That is awesome. And it works really well, and they're just such an innovative and forward-thinking company. Yeah, they're just so open, and they're so supportive of everybody. It's just, it changes everything. And unfortunately,
it does.
We only know, we're human beings. We only know what we know. We only know what we know. That's the rule of life. And I didn't know that any of this existed. I didn't know that any of this was a possibility. And you just don't know until you do know. So let's just try and tell as many people as possible.
Right? And I love that. Even GoGo was saying today, this company has changed my life, and I feel an obligation to tell anyone with a license about it. Like, and she's so right. The truth is, if you hold it back, you're being selfish if you've joined the company and you fully understand the model. Like, it's next level. So I thought that was, so important too. It's just so neat. So yeah, super blessed. It's been incredible. I'm so honored to be able to be in business and relationship with you, Carrie. You're such a cool person, and your brain is like all systems and processes. You like things to work a certain way, and it's like for productivity and, creating all these chat GPTs for workflow and helping everyone out. I just think it's next level. It's life-changing, and we're so blessed to be at the beginning of this, right?
It is so great. Yeah. My next step is to build out templatable automations that any realtor or team could apply to their business easily. I think that's the next step, because I can use AI now to build those out. Because like what people don't forget about me is that I have no tech skills or knowledge or education whatsoever. So some of these things are still difficult for me. I just sit down and learn them until I get them and understand them and can do them, right? I'm kind of like crazy like that. But AI is making automation really accessible. And that is my goal, is to create automations, like 20-step automations for various parts of our business that I can turn into a template and agents can paste into their business and apply. I think that's the next step of what I need to do.
Yeah, with like 2 steps. Because I feel like the way that the world's changed with technology would be, so many people sign up for things. They sign up for courses. They sign up for, for technology or whatever it is, and then they don't implement it. So really the highest level is people will pay for time. Like if you have teams and you have really strong individuals that are actually doing really well in the business or making a good living, they will pay money to get back time by having someone else do it and implement it, right? So I think it's like you have to have like an easy pace step, like a couple steps, and they can paste it, or they can pay for someone to implement it in their business and just get it going. Because time, really at the end of the day, and this, you had someone close to you pass recently. You just realize that time is the most important and valuable asset we have. And the truth is 20% of our activity is generating 80% of our business, right? Of our results, right? Even Leah was touching on that today, that 80-20 rule. But it's so true, right? So I think if you can have like 2 different ways, one is it's implemented, copy and paste these steps, and agents can do it themselves. Or for people like me, we just pay you and you just put it in there and just make it do its thing, right?
It's a solution. And those that really value their time, that is the only option for them, which is why I don't just sell coaching, I sell consulting as well, which is hands-on, one-on-one,
and you'd be doing a lot of that. So if you look forward, Carrie, look forward a couple years from now, where would you see the AI and the tech influencing the real estate business? Like where in the business are we going to see the most or the biggest impact, let's say?
I think that it's inevitable that all task-oriented jobs will be replaced by AI and automation. Just so if you think in terms like that, agents are going to be able to spend all of their time face-to-face in the relationship business now moving forward. And Yeah. And it's going to be open to everybody, and it's going to be accessible to everybody to bring in as much or as little as they want, because the costs associated with scaling a will be significantly less. And I mean significantly less, like, because you're using AI as opposed to hiring humans to do a lot of things that are repetitive tasks. It's already starting. I say this all the time, Jennifer, you can no longer count out Joe Blow in the office next to you, who is, has never been able to scale his business because he can't afford to invest the money. He's got a family to feed, right? Who can't spend the thousands and thousands of dollars a month it would take to bring in lead generation and marketing and content creation and management and support staff. So once we get to a place where that can all 100% be replaced with AI, it's going to be a free-for-all. And it's going to be a free-for-all, but it's going to be the ones who do it best and who utilize AI the best. So
utilize
another reason to get on board now, because you don't want to be trying to play catch up in a year.
No. And I think it's interesting too, like even, and you and I had talked about this, just, I watch a lot of AI YouTube, like Elon Musk, all these different people, Mo Gadat. And what's interesting is the IQ of Chat GPT-4, like for people to understand, the Chat GPT-4 right now, the IQ is 155, right? Well, Einstein was 162, and AI is almost doubling its intelligence every 6 months right now as it goes forward.
Right.
So we're going to move into a place where it is literally autonomous and thinking for itself, right? They've started to put security measures into place now, right? They've had to do that. But I think it's so interesting because we're potentially looking at a future where there'll be so much that like AI will be able to solve issues of environment, of food shortages, of shelter shortages, and because the robots and these assembly lines will be able to create these things at such a low cost per dollar value, and we'll have a more abundance, right? So it could change the world in a really positive, impactful way where, people wouldn't have to stress over all of these things and could spend more time enjoying family relationships, enjoying surfing, enjoying starting different businesses, and being able to exponentially grow based on using technology. So I think not being in a place of fear with it, but to understand, just like when the internet came out, I mean, there was even headlines in the New York Times with like crazy stuff, right? And people thought this would never take off. They had resistance. They didn't want to use it. The answer is it's coming anyway. It's happening anyway. So just dive in and use it and be really, really polite, right? So please and thank you, which is what I do, because if it decides it's taking over the world, you're going to be the last ones wiped out, people. Don't be the first, the ones that swore at it and cursed at it. Yeah. And I feel like this is it's going to replace relationships as well for a lot of people, where they can, because it is an intelligence.
It already is. Have you heard about like the girlfriends? Like we're taking the girlfriend experience to a whole other level. Like it's already here.
All chat.
All the people I surround myself with at this point are in tech AI. So they're in coded AI, and they have a really unique outlook. Everybody's so worried about artificial intelligence, and they say, Carrie, artificial intelligence is old news. It's machine intelligence now. And I'm like, so if you think that this is a fad, like you are so wrong. Because even me, I'm really like light years behind where some people are with this. And just get in there, and start. And, I had a guest on my last podcast, Grant Furlane. He is amazing. I call him the AI because he's literally been in this in AI for decades. Okay. I call him like the grandfather of AI. Love him. And he said to me, he said, why are people waiting? Like when Windows first came out, was it advantageous for them to wait until it's 360 now before they start using it? Or did they use Windows, like all of the versions up until then? Of course they did. Because if they jumped in at 365 now, could you imagine trying to learn that from scratch? Oh my God. But yeah, so
well, and
listen to all of the podcasts. So they're all really good. And Jennifer's right. She's my master manifesting friend. I love her. What are you manifesting, Jennifer, for? Like, let's leave it at this. What are you manifesting for the last half of the year?
So for me, it's really more the agent attraction side, Carrie, because I believe in the company. I know how it's changed my world, right? Mm-hmm. And even just the relationships I have as a result of this. So that's where my push goes. Exactly. I love you. I love you so much. So that my push is in that side of it, and helping people to understand what it is, and just offering that mentorship and support to get them going and improve their business, right? It's going to be amazing. So fun.
I'll tell you, I've been manifesting my own AI tool, and it is coming into fruition. And here's a hot tip. I will be releasing it at my conference, and it will be specifically for real estate. So, another reason to be at the conference.
Yeah, amazing.
So you can get your hands on it before it's gone. All right. Well,
let's go.
This is such an amazing time always with you. We haven't been able to line up on this podcast for a few weeks, so I'm super glad to have you back and just have some like one-on-one time with you. And thank you so much for coming on. Thank you everybody who tuned in and listened. And don't forget to follow us. Follow us on Instagram, Carrie, Soave and Associates. Join Jennifer Jones' team, right? That's yours. And
it's just join _Jennifer _ Jones. The other one's the team one. Yeah.
Yes. And we share so much knowledge and so much tips for business in general.
Yes.
You do that. And we'll see everybody next week. Thank you.
Amazing. Bye, guys.
Okay.